Hi everyone, I'm Anissa. And this is Aisha, Subishan, and Hanif. Today, we are going to present to all of you about the life cycle of Cordyceps militaris. But first, what is Cordyceps militaris? Cordyceps militaris is an ascomycete fungus in the family of Cordycepitaceae and the genus of Cordyceps. Their early scientific name in 1753 was Claveria militaris. Cordyceps militaris are mainly found in grassland and on woodland edges. They also parasitize their hosts, such as moth and caterpillar, whereby they draw nutrition from the host to enable the fungus to grow and generate spores for reproduction. They turn their host into a mushy mass and then pushing up through the turf as a bright orange cloud. Although with this parasitic feature, Cordyceps militaris have been giving benefits to humans since ancient time. They are greatly known to be used to cure headache, cough, diarrhea, liver disease, kidney disease, and many more. In addition, Cordyceps militaris also has an anti-cancer effect, which they are associated with an induction of cell cycle arrest and mitochondrial-mediated apoptosis. Oh, and before I forget, the other name of Cordyceps militaris is scarlet caterpillar cloud. Now, here is the life cycle of Cordyceps militaris that we have grown, and will be further explained by Aisha.
Thank you, Anissa. Hi, I'm Is, and in this video presentation, I will be explaining about the Cordyceps militaris anamorphic and teleomorphic life cycle. Generally, most fungi species will reproduce asexually in favorable environments and sexually in harsh environments. This is because the fungi want to ensure their survival in producing the next generation of fungi and to conquer the nutritious area. Cordyceps militaris is a hypomycete fungus, or in an easier definition, a fungus that produce naked Cornedia during the asexual development. It all begins with free conidiospores that germinate in a favorable environment. The conidiospores, or also known as Cornedia, will germinate and form into a network of hyphae called mycelium. During the asexual reproduction of Cordyceps militaris, a part of the hyphae will differentiate to become a specialized structure called conidiopore. This conidiopore then will further differentiate into a conidiogenous cell called phyllite. At the tip of this phyllite, the asexual spores, which known as conidia, will be produced. This production of conidia at the tip of the phyllite is called blastic phyllidity. There are a few possible forms of production of conidia of Cordyceps militaris during their asexual development. They can either produce conidia with a single phyllite, or branch conidiopore, or even producing spores in a slimy globous head. The conidia produced by this fungus are protected by a slime layer of protective coat. After the conidia are matured, the fungus will release its spores, and if the spores land on the favorable environment, then the spores will repeat the anamorphic cycle again. However, what happens if the spores land or enter into an unfavorable environment? The answer is the spores will undergo the sexual reproduction or the teleomorphic stage. Before I explain further about the sexual reproduction of this fungus, let me tell you some of the reproduction characteristics of Cordyceps militaris. Cordyceps militaris is a heterotelic fungus, which means this fungus is not self-compatible or homotelic. Thus, to reproduce sexually, Cordyceps militaris need two compatible hyphae from different thalli to reproduce. This method is called somatogamy. During somatogamy method, two compatible hyphae, which are the ascogonium, the female reproductive organ, and the antheridium, the male reproductive organ, will fuse together during the process called anastomosis. After the fusion of hyphae occurred, the plasmogamy will follow immediately. Plasmogamy is the fusion of plasma membrane of both fused hyphae. The nuclei from the antheridium will migrate into the ascogonium and pair with the plus nuclei. After both plus and minus nuclei paired with each other, mitosis and the formation of papillae will occur simultaneously. An ascogenous hyphae will emerge from the ascogonium and the paired nuclei will move to the tip of the ascogenous hyphae. After a certain period of time, the ascogenous hyphae will further elongate and form a hook or crozier and undergo a stalk cell, while another cell that is produced from the nuclear division will move to the apical cell of the ascus. Both of these cells will form a cross wall to separate themselves from the penultimate cells. The penultimate cells then undergo karyogamy, the fusion of nucleus, and form a zygote. This zygote then will undergo 2 times meiosis, which produce 4 daughter cells, and further nuclear division to produce 8 new daughter cells. These cells then fragmented to form ascospores. These ascospores are situated inside of an ascus. This ascus is protected inside of a perithecium ascocarp. Perithecium ascocarp is a closed, flask-shaped fruiting body with a pore called ostiole. The ascospores will be released through this ostiole. This perithecium ascocarp can be seen on the surface of Cordyceps militaris stroma, which is usually found on a dead larvae. Prior to the releasing of the ascospores will disarticulate into part spores at the septum when the spores are mature enough to be released. Based on this life cycle, the dichotic stage started to occur after the transferring of minus nuclei from the antheridium into the ascogonium until the formation of ascus primordium. The diploid stage of Cordyceps militaris can be seen after the karyogamy process occurred. After the meiosis, the diploid stage then will turn back to haploid stage. Next, I will pass to Subishan. Subi will explain further about the type of somatic hyphae that these species produce.
Somatic hyphae is the life stage at which a fungus lives, grows, develops, gathering nutrients and energy. The fungi uses this stage to proliferate itself through asexually created mitotic spores. There are 2 types of somatic hyphae, which is septate hyaline hyphae and cylindrical hyphae. Septate hyaline hyphae can be either simple or branched, while the cylindrical hyphae, some of which has pointed ends. They have elongated phylides and oval-shaped hyaline.
And last but not least, our last presenter, Hanif, will explain about the types of Cornedia produced by Cordyceps militaris.
Type of Cornedia produced by Cordyceps militaris is polymorphic Cornedia with globose, cylindrical, and spherical in shape. The spores coated with slime layer on phylides, but some produce chain-like spores. In sexual reproduction, it produces part spores that is formed by disarticulation of matured ascospores.
Thank you for watching.